Hamburg is one of the easiest cruise ports in Northern Europe to explore on your own, but there are a few things you should know before you arrive. I've visited Hamburg twice recently on MSC Poesia and P&O Iona, both docking right in the city centre at the new HafenCity cruise terminal, and it's a port that is very straightforward to explore independently. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 10 things you need to know before your cruise arrives in Hamburg, from where ships dock and how to get around the city, to the best free things to do and how to plan your port day. A lot of information online about Hamburg cruise terminals is now outdated. Most cruise ships today dock at Cruise Center HafenCity, which is located right in the center of the city. I've docked here twice recently on both MSC Poesia and P&O Iona. This location is excellent because you are not arriving in an industrial port miles outside the city. Instead, you are already in the modern HafenCity district, within walking distance of several major attractions. When you step off the ship, you walk through the cruise terminal building and directly into the Westfield Hamburg Überseequartier complex, which immediately connects the cruise terminal to the city itself. That simple fact is what makes Hamburg such an easy port to explore independently. Once you step off the ship, one of the first places you will see is the Westfield shopping center, which sits directly beside the cruise terminal. If you enjoy shopping, it is worth leaving some time at the end of the day to explore it before heading back to the ship, as there are plenty of shops, cafes, and places to eat. If you have booked a shipshore excursion, the meeting point is not directly beside the ship. Instead, you walk through the cruise terminal and into the shopping center area, where crew and excursion staff guide passengers to the correct meeting points. It is well organized, but it can feel slightly confusing the first time because you are effectively moving from the ship into the shopping complex before joining your tour. If you are exploring independently, this area is also where you will find transport connections into the rest of the city, including the Überseequartier U-Bahn station, which makes it very easy to travel further into Hamburg if you do not want to walk. There is also one other thing to know. Germany has strict Sunday trading laws, and when I visited on MSC Poesia, the ship arrived on a Sunday. The shopping center itself was open, and you could walk through it, but most of the shops and food outlets were closed. It does not affect exploring the city, but it can be surprising if you arrive expecting everything to be open. Hamburg is one of the easiest cruise ports in Northern Europe to explore on foot. From HafenCity, you can walk to several of the city's main attractions. The Elbphilharmonie Concert Hall, one of Hamburg's most famous landmarks, is only a short walk from the cruise terminal. Nearby, you will also find the Speicherstadt district, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, known for its canals, bridges, and historic red brick warehouses. I explored much of the area, simply by walking and using Google Maps, and it was very easy to navigate. If you enjoy walking, you can comfortably spend several hours exploring the harbour area and historic districts without needing any transport at all. If you want to travel further into the city, Hamburg has an excellent public transport system. Inside the Westfield complex, you will see clear signs for Überseequartier station, which connects to the U-Bahn underground network. During my visits, I used a combination of the U-Bahn, S-Bahn trains, and the harbour ferries, and all of them were easy to use. For cruise passengers, it is one of the simplest public transport systems to navigate, especially compared with some larger European cities. If you plan to use public transport or visit several attractions, the Hamburg card can be a useful option. The card includes unlimited travel on buses, underground trains, suburban trains, and harbour ferries within the central zones of the city. It also provides discounts at more than 150 attractions, including museums, tours, and sightseeing experiences. When I visited, a one-day card cost around £11 for a single traveller, or about £21 for a group ticket, covering up to 5 people, which can be very good value. Once you purchase it, you download the Hamburg Experience and Save app, add your booking, and then simply scan the QR code on your phone when using public transport or visiting attractions that offer discounts. If you want to look into the Hamburg card in more detail, I have left a link in the description, along with a few other useful links for planning your visit. One of the things that makes Hamburg such a good cruise port is how many interesting things you can see without spending any money. A great place to start is the Elbphilharmonie, which is one of the most recognizable buildings in the city. Even if you are not attending a concert, you can visit the public viewing platform at the top. To reach it, you take the long curved escalator that runs through the center of the building. It is quite an experience in itself, and from the viewing terrace, you get wide panoramic views across the harbor and the city. Entry to the viewing platform is free, although you do need a ticket. You can either collect one at the ticket booth at the entrance or book a timed slot in advance online. Right next to the Elbphilharmonie is the Speicherstadt district, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This area is famous for its canals, bridges, and rows of historic red brick warehouses that were once used for storing goods arriving by ship. It is a fantastic area simply to wander through with a camera, and many people are surprised to learn that Hamburg actually has more canals than Venice. Another free and unusual place to visit is the Old Elbe Tunnel, which opened in 1911 and runs underneath the river. You enter through a historic lift system and then walk through the tiled tunnel below the harbor. It is still used today by pedestrians and cyclists and feels like stepping back in time. Further into the city center, you will also find the impressive Hamburg City Hall, known locally as the Rathaus, and the Inner Alster Lake, which is a beautiful open space surrounded by historic buildings and cafes. All of these areas are easy to explore independently and make Hamburg a surprisingly good port for a low-cost day ashore. One of the reasons Hamburg works so well as a cruise port is that many of the main attractions are very easy to reach from the ship. The Elbphilharmonie and the Speicherstadt district are both within walking distance of the cruise terminal, and areas like Landungsbrücken, the Harbour Promenade, and the Old Elbe Tunnel are only a short journey away. It is also worthwhile to take one of Hamburg's public harbour ferries, which are part of the normal transport system and included if you have a day ticket or the Hamburg card. One of the nicest short routes is the ferry between Landungsbrücken and the Elbphilharmonie, which gives you great views of the harbour and often a really good view back towards your cruise ship. It is a simple and enjoyable way to see the waterfront from the water without booking a separate harbour tour. If you are planning to visit one of Hamburg's most famous attractions, there is one place you should think about booking before your cruise. That attraction is Miniatur Wunderland, located in the Speicherstadt district. This is the largest model railway in the world and one of the most visited attractions in Germany. Because of that popularity, the attraction uses timed entry tickets, and these often sell out in advance. If visiting Miniatur Wunderland is important to you, it is definitely worth booking your entry slot before your cruise, so you are not disappointed on the day. Another paid attraction located in the same historic area is the Speicherstadt Museum. This museum explains the maritime trading history of Hamburg and how the warehouse district was used to store goods such as coffee, tea, and spices arriving from around the world. Both attractions are located within easy reach of the cruise terminal, which again makes Hamburg a very manageable port to explore independently. In many cities, I enjoy using hop-on hop-off buses, but in Hamburg, I personally did not find it the best option. When I tried it, a lot of time was spent sitting in traffic, and some of the stops were not very clearly marked. Because Hamburg is so easy to explore on foot and by public transport, I actually found it much better to explore independently. If you prefer the structure of a guided bus tour, it can still be useful, but it is definitely not essential here. One final thing to prepare for is the weather. Many cruises visiting Hamburg from the UK are winter sailings, and when I visited, the temperatures were around -2 to -4 degrees, with snow falling both times. Parts of the river had frozen, and you could see large chunks of ice floating along the Elbe. It was incredibly atmospheric and something quite special to see, but it was also bitterly cold. If you are cruising here in winter, pack properly with warm layers, gloves, and a good coat, so you can enjoy exploring the city comfortably. Hamburg is an easy cruise port to explore on your own, but Rotterdam is where many passengers get caught out when trying to visit Amsterdam. If your itinerary includes Rotterdam, my guide showing exactly how to get from Rotterdam cruise port to Amsterdam is on screen now.